passwords on a notes app in their phone. And most of
Oh,
their phones are BYO. They're bring your own personal
yeah.
devices.
Yeah, they're not
And then,
secure.
yeah, and then more people save theirs in a Word document or a spreadsheet. And people just are not using secure password management tools to manage their passwords. So if you
Yeah.
think about the workforce coming in, using more and more passwords, saving them and storing them poorly, and sometimes they get out of control. And then also as humans, we tend to do a couple of things. We tend to use familiar words as the basis of our password. Like we know from other research that 15% of people use their pet's name or
Makes sense?
a variation of the pet's name. Maybe could be
Yeah.
the pet's name with a season or a month or a number or a birth date or something like that. And and then we also cluster our passwords. So people might have the same password for all their social accounts or all their bank accounts or all their work applications. And so if one gets hacked, then all the others are vulnerable.
Yeah. Which is not good. And you mentioned that employees are resigning. So, what, with the great resignation, how do you see that in your research? Why people are leaving?
There's a few reasons. We see that what happened in 2020 was there were two parts to this. In 2020, when we thought we were all coming out of the pandemic, we had that kind of false start. Employers started hiring a lot of new people remotely, and we saw companies hiring people whom they had never met to work for them remotely, and that was a big shift. And in the battle to get talent, we saw some power shift from employers to employees. The employees kind of got a lot more power than they ever had before. And then in 2021, we saw almost the opposite happen. Existing employees were saying, hey, I might have better options working somewhere else. I can just stay at home in my pajamas all day and I can work the way I want to work. And we saw
Right.
people leave their organizations, and we didn't quite understand all the reasons why, but we got some more understanding through the research we did. And what we found is, in particular, younger generations feel like other companies are doing a better job with technology enablement. And that's a key thing. So they don't know for a fact, but they perceive that other companies are doing a better job than their own company. The grass is greener on the
Yeah.
other side. And people
Yeah.
are leaving thinking they're going to get more flexibility, better tech, better tools, a better way of working somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we've got this great unsettling shakedown
Yeah.
happening in industry right now. And the generation that's most at most unrest is that young generation, Gen Z.
Hmm.
So there's something very interesting going on here. Their behaviors and their attitudes to security are not great. We know that. And they've got
Hmm.
passwords all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you're a company leader, your immediate instinct is probably, hey, we need to tighten up. We need to clamp down. We need to lock down. We need to bring these kids in line. But guess what they're
Yeah.
going to do? They're going to walk.
Leave.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to leave because they
Yeah.
perceive somebody else is doing a better job.
Yeah. They will handle them differently. They will trust them more. They will not tell them what to do, and they could be more free in their time, in their resources, and what they get. They feel like it will be better there. That's what
Yeah,
they think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but when we think about it, because they're so young, they don't have lots of relationship with work and with this specific company compared to maybe someone who's worked like a few years, maybe more in this like workplace, and they feel obligated and connected to the people, to the organization, to whatever. And when you're just starting, you don't really care. Like you don't have, you're not the CEO apparently, so you can do whatever you want, right? So it's like I guess, and I think it's related to the fact that people understand that they should be trusted. That's what I think. They know that in these 2 years they've worked hard, and they like the bottom line did not change to most of the companies. And now they're saying, why don't you trust us? We've shown you that you could trust us. So why not? And they don't see them, they don't see what the C level are seeing, or what the goals of the company as they see it. And then they say, okay, we're leaving. It's not for us.
Yeah, and there's an interesting dynamic at play here as well, because a lot of people joined their companies remotely in the last 2 years. And that young generation, Gen Z, they never knew an office based work culture before the pandemic because they were still in
Yeah.
university
Yeah,
or
right.
wherever they were. But they never knew the culture of going to work, being with colleagues, going out to lunch together, maybe going for drinks on a Friday, and all the informal relationships that happen, all the loose links that help you understand the context of the business or the organization you're part of. And that
Yeah.
sense of belonging is super important, especially for young people, to feel like I've got my place in this organization. I belong. I've got all these people who know me. I'm respected. I've got a career path. That's missing now in some organizations because people just talk over video and they
Yeah.
don't get a chance to meet and they don't understand. They don't have the same contextual relevance and contextual understanding of where are we going as an organization? Where do I fit? Do I have a future? What will it look like for me in a couple of years' time? Who are my
Yeah.
role models? That's all much harder in a remote setting. And in particular, if you're Gen Z and you're 22 years old and this is your first